Let's go back to industry. Marco Piscitelli, who is the CEO of Molteni NC and Managing Director of Molteni Group.
I am feeling pampered by the exclusivity of Italian excellence, in which I rediscover my identity, my personality and my language. These are the sensations that I have tried to express in Molteni's first outdoor collection. The idea of continuing the dialogue between the various areas of the home is also apparent in the outdoor proposal, with 2 collections designed for the art of experiencing open spaces and where the union of the elements is never casual, but the fruit of meticulous process of studying and researching every detail.
Buongiorno. Ben arrivato.
Good morning and welcome, and thank you for having me here. Well, something I was struck by is the fact that the 4 top groups have managers, at the top. So I think that in this sector there have been so many steps forward, and then we will be talking about the 2 managerial figures, Andrea and you. Well, this is a sector that entrusts people with a lot of different tasks. Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you for your invitation and all for the previous speeches given by the previous speakers. I mean, this was source of great enrichment for me. Very insightful and interesting. I am a manager within a family-run company, historical group. 1934 is the year in which this company was founded, so some previous experience and many years behind us. Well, this is an adventure, a very nice one, very stimulating for those doing my job. The fact that we could find a very familiar environment where you can express yourself, and this is a real challenge for a manager. You want to bring in your added value into these family-run companies, and this is something that can also lead us to achieve goals and get to results and outcomes. But there must be kind of a chemistry or a relationship that must be triggered. I've been for many years within this group, and the results that we reached in the last 11 years were very good. And this is also the result of this kind of magic formula or this chemistry that allowed the manager to bring in his added value, and which made these collaboration possible, and the fact that we share the same macro vision and macro objectives. This is a virtuous path, and this is also very enriching in many regards. Well, I have met some of the people working with us here in this room, and I have always been lucky enough to work as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, which allowed me to grow a lot over time. And this is a common factor of so many different companies. This is crucial. This is vital as a recipe for success and to address the challenges, since we have a lot of challenges. Let's talk about the Molteni Group. What are the macro objectives of your group, of this group? Yeah, first of all, 2022, 465 million. Yes, this is organic growth, which I'd like to underline. Well, we are innovators. The founders of this group did it so many years ago. They didn't know it, maybe, but this is the first Italian industrial group, an independent group, since we do have companies working in the office world and then furniture and kitchens. So this is kind of a natural development over time, which dates back to pretty much time ago. Well, our result is that we are, well, kind of rare company, 100 million euro turnover more 2021-2022 with a 26% of growth, quite homogeneous one for the companies of the group, an important increase also in terms of EBITDA values. As Roberto was saying before, our sector is based on production when you have full of costs that you have to bear. It's not that easy to get to those virtuous outcomes. Yeah, more or less roughly 10%, right? Yes, plus 26 this year in terms of growth on EBITDA. And Moltenici, which has 350 million turnover plus 36% more in terms of EBITDA, and 12.6% is the growth in this sector of 46 vis-à-vis 50 billion euros in 2021, and plus 26 in terms of EBITDA compared to 2019. Well, very positive pathway and growth. What we are doing in these first few months in 2023, after these 2 years, 2021-2022, is slowing down of these curves. This curve is slowing down and also flattening. But I'm a sportsman. I'm very practical. I'm passionate about what I do, and I drink a lot because I run in the morning. I usually run in the morning. So I always use this metaphor coming from the sports world. It's as if this was a peachy race in which we are on a plane. Yeah, this is quite demanding, but this is a group, so there are so many benefits. We have the driving force, people driving you as well, so you can spare a little bit of energy. And then you have something which is completely different, where you have no group, where you have a single competition, you have the values of single people. So who got ready better than the other ones, and athletic preparation, the trainers and coaches as well, and the materials that were used to be competitive. So all in all, we are in a phase in 2023, we are going up, and I think we could lay the right foundations in these very important years. So we lay the foundations for this growth. So we can also say that this year is a positive one and will end in a positive way as well. 2023, we have a quarter or half year that last year was a record within the records in the records. I mean, this was a very, very difficult phase. So this phase is very difficult, and no comparison is possible with last year's results. We have kind of a differentiated business. A contract has a big weight, right? Yes, that's true. The group as such, and I underline Molteni and Adada, today it was incorporated within Molteni 3 years ago, I think, in order to strengthen Molteni, but keeping kind of a distinctiveness. We are talking about Molteni kitchens, Dada's engineer, okay? So they also are labeled in terms of skills and technology. Dada Unifor and Citerio are specialized in office systems and facilities. So we are halfway, so to say, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, 50% retail, 50% contract in general. The office part is closer to the project design world, and Molteni has different souls. Yes, more or less. 55%, maybe not really 50, but roughly 50%. This double soul has turned to be useful also in difficult times, in tough times, when he had to climb the mountain. We wanted to bring home satisfactory results, and well, our dedication was important for the two business channels. So this has kind of a compensation effect. We can catch up a little bit on contract, and well, maybe retail goes a little bit back. We are going through a great growth. Within the contract department, we have different departments and divisions. The one that is in charge of store chains, we have hospitality as well, which is skyrocketing, residential, ship and boating, shipping sector. We are still present in a very complicated sector. This is very, very difficult, a very tough sector. But the growth must be everywhere, and there is kind of fragmentations towards the top. We have cruises with fewer passengers, very, very homemade, very tailor-made. So in the contract world, the brand company is very important, even if the product doesn't go to the final public, right, or to the final target. Yeah, I'd like to get back to what Roberto was saying before. He's one of our teachers and masters in defining, when it comes to defining the value of the brand in the retail sector. As Marco Piscitelli, personally, within the group, the Molteni group, this is an exercise. We need to keep this kind of balance. Since we have a very huge interest in keeping this international presence through flagship stores all over the world, to bring our style everywhere and to strengthen our brand awareness. We need to be disciplined, we need to have discipline, we need to have awareness with something we can do with a partner. So discipline is very important, and communication as well. Contract is something different. It's not the opposite, but you have to accept compromise. You will have to do very different things that are very far away from the stylistic point of view, but also from the production point of view. So we have to be a little bit there, a little bit here. You have to raise the bar or keep the bar in such a way that we are successful. This is a good exercise. I have so much fun, I have to say. It's so much fun, but it's a nice exercise. Complicated, but nice. I mean, that's why I showed you this video that introduced our group, and our art creative director was selected so long ago, and he wanted to educate us. It was a healthy education, of course. Well, 500, almost 500 million. But where are you headed? What are your macro objectives in 5 years, for example, 5 years' time? What is in the pipeline? Where are you headed? Well, in terms of brand awareness, channels, we have 4 main growth drivers. Or we are equipped with those 4 channels. First of all, we wanted to strengthen the iconic character of our brands, our companies that are iconic per se, without saying too much. They bring us back to international architecture and design and style, etc. We also wanted to confirm the desirability or attractiveness of products that are manufactured, and this is the first important driver. Secondly, and as a consequence, as a result, we have the geographical expansion, the international presence, many single brand stores as partnerships. Yeah, fortunately, luckily, because otherwise it's very difficult to keep these own activities. in this sector. We will be opening 26 flagship stores, so we will exceed 100 flagship stores to be present in the international key markets, since they will also become useful hubs for finalizing projects, as we always say. So international presence, this was the second driver. Then we also promote sustainability as one of our key messages. Sustainability is a very pretty much used word, but it must be also implemented. So giving tools and involvement, engagement on behalf of everyone through the use of recyclable materials, less waste. And we are also supported within our group to set up a synergy within the group and to optimize our production, something that we really strengthened over the last few years. And then renewable energies. I always like saying that last year we finalized the installation of these solar cells and panels on the roofs of our buildings, 65% of self-sufficiency in terms of energy. And this is something that turns out to be a crucial driver for all of us. It goes without saying that China and the US are the markets with the highest possible potential as for everybody. It is the case in China. We have already 15 flagship stores. Well, it's true that last year was a year in which there was a transition, so it slowed down a little bit. So we have high expectations on China this year. Well, the fact that we got present in markets that are really far away, we have a lot of different partner companies, thanks to which we can be very close to our customers, not just in the points of sales, but also in terms of projects. Very last question, we are at the stock exchange. Well, you all have very different shareholders and families. What is the families' thought? Sorry, time is over. I can't answer the question. No, all jokes aside. Well, in fact, with this third generation that is made up of 30, 40-year-olds, we can also speak in front of a coffee about the next steps. But anyway, with the second one, this is a little bit more difficult, but we comment these figures and we do it with pleasure, since this is something that comes from us pooling our strength. And I have this kind of goal. Okay, we strive for 1 billion, but anyway, we have to run fast. But I'm also curious. And I think it is important for a manager close to a businessman or for a businessman to assess whatever you have on the table. And then time makes a difference. But anyway, thank you. Thank you very much, Marco. Thank you. Bye.